Welcome Galactic family. Even if we have trouble defining, everything has changed. Following the great American eclipse, a persistent and deafening silence resounds in the ethers, a stillness that all nature seems to honor as sacred, which seems to indicate more changes to come. Life is responding obediently to this true transformation, and we know that nothing will be the same again. September is always a month of death and birth, of endings and beginnings, but this September was a little extraordinary in that regard. Throughout the month, we are leaving the heated illusion, however, for every limited thought and or expired emotion we transcend, every survival action we release, a new profound realization seems to reveal the very origin of the management of that creation lives old. Our hearts are healing the original separation wound, and this defragmentation is finally delivering the insight into so much suffering, the answers to longing questions. The things we have intuited all the time are now revealing the truth of our old past till we are reborn in our true nature. This is sovereign, if not surprising, to glimpse the vision of a bird's eye over the whole of our journey to get here. For many, this has meant several lives working toward that goal. And then, to see our permanence in separation have resolution before our very eyes, I do not even have a word for it. This exceptional awareness was the blessing of the Son of the Virgin that gave us so much integration, made possible by this emergent clarity, or perhaps it is the other way around. We are untying / cutting off the proverbial Gordian knot, which means to solve a complex problem in a simple and effective way, and in the process, so much healing / uniqueness and alignment is finally attainable. It has been literally dazzling how these inner revelations seem to electrocute us, to die on the way while gluing the pieces of the puzzle we've been looking for from the beginning. Moving to the new world, the human being returns to its original state of grace. Because of the purpose of the ends combined with such new radical beginnings, life was extremely high and low, very predictably unpredictable this month. Flashes of excitement and admiration for the new, interspersed with feelings of uncertainty, emptiness and confusion have been the norm. As the veil rises to reveal our new horizon, we have no solid idea of what to look for, and our eyes are still not adjusted to the new landscape, unable to see what our minds still cannot understand. We are still finding our balance, and our steps, softly enhanced, are also quantum in nature. It will take a good time / space to figure out how to navigate these new coordinates. That, with the help of the solar eclipse, we literally took our chips from the old / fake array, clearing our old hard drives models, giving us every opportunity to redefine ourselves and live to activate the new circuits of the unified heart-mind we work so hard to reconnect in the summer months, winter in the south. As we pushed perhaps even our limits out of duality, it was also clear that we did not have a safety net to pull back, that we needed to make the transition on our own, plug our self-sustaining hologram without a minimum amount of external support. For those who have already emerged in the new, literally there is nothing other than the self to lean on now that the karmic model has been discarded. Those willingly at the starting point were pushed forward in complete faith of the unknown, suspended in nothingness, learning to fully self-reliance. And the waters of the tide were radically retreating in preparation to bring a new wave of support. The range of that wave will depend on our ability to authentically dominate our resources. This shift to total autonomy may have translated itself as the familiar snow globe effect, where the contents of our lives have been completely shaken and we are just waiting to see where the pieces land. Only this time it felt as if we had been personally dismantled in the process, dissolved into nothing, and without a clear way to get back together. That's because we the little knots do not presume. After we dissolve into nothing, we are born into wholeness/wholeness. The eclipse enabled those prepared to completely release our identification with form so that we can return to life with ALL of ourselves. In the meantime, our work has been to stay on our path, while nature follows its course, of course key theme, while our fullness takes shape. We are merging antimatter with matter and being squeezed through a multidimensional portal of absolute refinement, spiraling through a cosmic centrifuge to change the last of our accumulated falsehood. This process required us to keep our human aspect completely out of the way, so parts of our lives that could no longer hold water were blown up and or withdrawn in the wake of the great eclipse. But for those of us moving to our true house as full-time residents of the unit, no matter what, we are finally fully surrendered. We have reached the point of no return, and we know that the remnants of this last explosion from our past may be scattered everywhere, and we may be compelled to order/choose through the floating parts for some time, but only to determine what accompanies us to the new and what is taken to the sea, never to be seen again. Confused? Yes. Uncomfortable? Like all hell. But the beauty of this wildly uncontrollable process is that we learn to be propelled into life without a plan, and to rely implicitly on the purpose of each unfolding. In one word, freedom.